I be beating on my dick like it'd been misbehaving.
So I think it's safe to say at this point that a majority of the people watching this video know what Terrifier is. Or if you don't know it by the name of the films, you know this creepy motherfucker for sure. Within like a 2-year period, Art the Clown has become iconic, whether you like him or not. Terrifier merchandise is the only shit I've ever seen even slightly rival Invader Zim merchandise and Hot Topic. And with the third installment to the franchise just hitting theaters now, what better time to go over a full retrospective of all of these movies. Which I just want to make something insanely clear before we get into this. I am not a fan of Terrifier. I've never really gotten the hype. I always thought they were just kind of mediocre. Like for instance, if you asked me to pick between any of the Terrifier movies or some unknown shit like Tourist Trap, without a doubt Tourist Trap is getting the goddamn dub. And for any potential fans of these movies that may be watching, just keep in mind at the end of the day, this is my personal opinion. And I genuinely am really glad that you're able to get the enjoyment that you do out of these movies. So with that, let's move on to the first installment on this list, The Ninth Circle, released in 2008 with an overall runtime of 11 minutes. And I know from the name and cover of this film, you're probably thinking like, what the fuck does this have to do with Terrifier? But this is actually Art's first appearance on camera. If you're anything like me, you thought that title belonged to All Hallows Eve for years. But no, sure, he doesn't exactly look like himself just yet, but it's clear this is where the character started. The text at the beginning of the movie gives me Evil Elmo vibes, which is weird because I just fucking covered that in my last video. And I'm sorry to say it, I won't be able to give any commentary for the dialogue in this movie because the only copies I can find of it on YouTube are in fucking Spanish. But the film starts out with a woman walking into a room so she can sit down when she is very rudely interrupted by a fake out scare. Which strangely enough, he has something very similar happen in the first Terrifier movie when two people just come in and randomly start fucking in front of another person. Starting to think Damien likes sitting in the chair. But strangely enough, after a little back and forth, these guys just leave very politely. I'd love to be able to tell you what the conversation they had was, but again, I can only find the movie in Spanish, so we're gonna have to thug it out on this one, boy. Which I know I said at the beginning of this, like, yeah, Art's not really looking like himself, but honestly, I'd go to say this design is much scarier. With his current design, I feel it's kind of cartoonish in a way, like the way his eyes sink in, the overall shape of his face, it's just a little much, you know? But I feel like with this design, he's almost able to tap into that subconscious fear of the uncanny valley to where he looks human enough, but there's something off. To my knowledge, this is the only time that Art ever uses a needle. Like, did he watch fucking Dexter the night before? But at the same time, it does definitely give him a bit of this like edge to him compared to all of the other slashers that just usually use like a knife, a machete. Art straight up uses a fucking Glock. God forbid this man gets his hands on a switch. And I'm sure it's just the rip of the film that I'm watching being old as shit, but this looks like ass, bro. I'm 6 minutes in and I can't even see this dude's fucking face. I don't know who this is, but I'm guessing by this bitch's screams that he's got a real scary face that I wish I could see right now. The ending to the movie is genuinely one of the most mind-numbingly confusing things I've ever had to watch, simply because I genuinely do not know what the fuck is happening here. To my knowledge, they cut a baby out of a woman's stomach and stab Lil Bro so they can drain its blood into a cup and then sip that shit up like it was Gatorade. Then the devil just randomly walks into the room. I guess bro had to take a piss because he missed out on the baby blood, and I assume for demons that's like missing the rotation.
You guys drank the baby blood without me, bro? Oh my fucking...
And then the film just stops, just right there. As soon as the devil comes in and he starts like moving over, it stops. I don't know if they just didn't explain shit in the movie or I just couldn't understand what they were saying, but it seems very abrupt. Overall, do I think it's a bad film? Not exactly. There are parts to it that I do really like. Do I think it's a good film? Not exactly. There are parts to it I find fucking stupid. But overall, for a short film though, it really could have been worse. Moving on to the next installment to the franchise, All Hallows Eve.
I swear to God, bro, I can't have shit. It follows me everywhere I fucking go. It knows that I haven't finished the video yet. It's coaxing me into working on it. It's the same fucking video every time. Oh my fucking, leave me alone.
All Hallows Eve takes the humble 11 minutes and 17 seconds from the Ninth Circle and expands that shit into an hour and 22 minutes. Which all I've got to say is if it drags as much as the last one, At the beginning of the film, they're watching the original Night of the Living Dead, which is a nice touch that I can appreciate. We're then introduced to our three main characters, a mom, a son, and a daughter. I don't remember any of their names, don't ask me them. The boy ends up finding a VHS tape inside of his Halloween bag, which personally I call bullshit. You're telling me you didn't notice somebody putting a big ass black square in your bag? They go through a whole argument about whether or not they're gonna watch it, which trust me is just as entertaining as watching fucking hair grow. And I might be bugging on this one, but I swear to God at the beginning of the tape they use the same ambience as Five Nights at Freddy's 1. But the beginning of the tape is more or less just one of those early YouTube videos that were made to scare people, kind of like mentally disturbing. It then cuts into, get this, the 9th circle. So I have to watch this shit again. But hey, it's in English this time, so I can actually tell what they're saying. It turns out Mr. and Mrs. Diddy over here weren't trying to get their freak on at all, which I still don't entirely trust, because why the fuck is that doing on a lead? They were just looking for a cigarette. I revoke my comments about you being a cuck, Damien. I'm not even gonna lie, there's a good like 20 minutes that we're just gonna skip with this because nothing fucking happened. But anyways, after boy and girl go to sleep, woman randomly decides, yeah, I've had enough of this good movie. Let's go back to that VHS tape that has some booty on. So now that we've gotten a basic plot synopsis, I think we're gonna skip past this next one as well, because this is Art's video. We're talking about the Terrifier movies, not Marvin the Martian's big head ass little cousin. So the next one starts with a woman driving down an old road at night. She's listening to an absolute fucking banger. And she must have been flooring it to that shit. She must have been pumped when that came on, because she has like no gas. So she decides to stop by this rinky-dink ass gas station that I don't even think heroin needles would want to be. She's for some reason waiting for someone to pump her gas, which like they don't even do that shit at Thornton's, little bro. What the fuck makes you think the fentanyl funhouse is gonna do it for you? Unfortunately for her though, the only guy available is currently locked in a 1v1 with Art because he's shit and pissed on the walls, which seems to be bro's signature move for some reason. Michael Myers has the head turn, Art shits and pisses. He looks over at the girl like she's gonna back his ass up, but like, bro, she heard what you did. So he decides, fuck this, I'm gonna dip, and then he just scurries along like a silly little guy. The man and the woman have a little back and forth. Apparently she's a costume designer. The two hear a loud ass bang and Prince Charming springs into action, completely leaving Shawty alone, even though he knows for a damn fact that Boo Boo the clown is running around. She stands around and looks at the scary scenery for a minute before deciding this motherfucker needs to come outside. I hate Tubi. I don't want to see a fucking ad for the floor. She walks inside to see if she can find bro. She then hears what is very clearly something being sawed at. And I don't know if I'm just a pussy, but that'd be more than enough for me to take the gas I have and leave. She opens the door to see that bro got full boxed by Arthur like a fucking bot. I don't know why I keep calling bro Arthur. I'm not re-recording that one. She decides to get the hell out of there, which I mean like obviously. And honestly, I assumed this was the end. Like damn, that's it? Where else can we go with this? But no, we then spend the rest of the short with her in her fucking car panicking. Obviously King Von's vessel is still there, but like he doesn't do nearly enough to make this shit entertaining. He somehow, and I cannot stress how much I mean this shit, somehow gets in her back seat. And this next clip I'm just gonna play for you guys because I fucking died laughing. God fucking damn, bro. He deadass takes a second after that, which I do not blame him. I would too. She runs through the woods before finding this creepy ass cabin looking thing and decides to genuinely go in there like it's a good idea. She barricades the door after going in, and Art shortly after follows her behind. And I mean, this is a solid barricade. Bro is putting his all into this and it's not budging. And after he stops, I was honestly expecting every damn trick in the book for a jump scare. Like either he was gonna come through the window behind her, he was gonna like start cutting the door down with a chainsaw. No, he pulls the last shit I would have expected and digs his way underneath that bitch like it's Minecraft. Just pops out like a damn zombie. He then gets his lick back for having his forehead turned into a fine fucking powder by her dashboard. He beats her ass with a belt like an alcoholic father. Look at bro's form. He's done this. He sits there and just absolutely wails on her ass for a good minute, but bro started flexing. He was like, look at these knives. We ain't got shit like. And she takes the opportunity to grab a knife and just shank bro in the goddamn eye with it. She then takes the chance while bro is stumbling around to stab him in the back with another thing. I don't know what it was. Looks like a basic ass kitchen knife from Walmart now that I look at it. Well, it's gotta be over now, right? Nope, it's still going. She finds a road nearby that conveniently someone just so happens to be driving up. And I was expecting this shit to somehow be Lil Man, but it just so happens to be 2012 Markiplier. Rejoice, the day is saved. The two drive off and Art is assumably quick to pursue. But at this point, it's not even a concern anymore. They gapped bro. What is he gonna do? I woke up in a new Bugatti. Now, the ending to the tape itself is just Art cutting up the woman. She screams, and then bye-bye. The ending to the actual movie itself, though, is so goddamn weird. She turns the tape off, but it randomly comes back on. Art walks right up to the screen and starts interacting with it, like tapping on it and shit. And it's really at moments like these where I just have to think to myself,
man, why the fuck did they do that shit?
Because it was not needed. Like, y'all could have had him come to the house in so many better ways. She rushes to get the VHS tape out before Bro can get her, because for some reason she can only see him on the VHS tape, like on the TV screen. She Gronk spikes the tape on the ground and he disappears. But it's over now, it's dealt with. Well, no, she hears screaming from the upstairs where the kids are. She is then face to face with Art the Clown, who is standing at the top of the stairs. I guess when she smashed the VHS tape, Bro just ran upstairs like a little bitch. Like literally the most bitch-made antagonist of all time. He couldn't beat the adult, so he ran upstairs to go kill the kids. But then he disappears. He vanishes. So maybe the kids are okay. Nah, he got them. They wasn't okay. Would I say this is anywhere near a favorite of mine?
Fuck no.
But would I say this is a bad movie? I can't really do that. It's extremely inoffensive and honestly just feels like a modern day B movie. Especially on the second movie that plays on the tape. Like, that shit had to be intentional. So overall, I think I'm just gonna give this one a 4 out of 10. Nothing bad, but nothing spectacular either. This is like day fucking 14 of working on this video. And it's really starting to set in, and I still have 3 fucking movies to cover. Releasing in 2016, Terrifier is Art's first big stepping out. And according to Google, it is the most searched for horror film on streaming today. That just breaks my fucking heart. If All Hallows Eve felt like one of those old B movies, Terrifier 1 feels like an old exploitation flick. If you don't know what an exploitation flick is, they're sometimes referred to as grindhouse movies, but basically what it is it's a film that focuses completely on selling points like blood, titties, but they put no effort into the writing or the acting. And before some dumb motherfucker goes to the comments like, well, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was an exploitation movie and it did pretty good.
If I saw you in the streets, I would fucking strangle you.
The movie starts out with an interview of the sole survivor from the Miles County Massacre. We will obviously find out more about this event as the movie goes on, but during the interview, the topic of Art is brought up and she very proudly exclaims that he is dead. She watched it happen. But Bro just so happened to be watching at that very moment. How the fuck does his ass have cable? And he decides to get ready. We see a whole suit up montage like he's fucking Batman. That's the same bit. That's the same bitch from All Hallows Eve. That's not a critique at all. I just found it kind of cool. I guess after she failed her job as a babysitter because she let 2 kids fucking die, she became a TV host who shit talks on disabled people. Well, it looks like all that net banging caught up to her bitch ass because this exploded pizza roll wanted the smoke. She pops a crisp laugh it up on this fucking bot, and then the movie actually begins. We meet our 2 main characters, Tara and Dawn, or as I like to refer to them as Titties and Emo. The 2 are coming back from a party, and Dawn, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna refer to her as fucking Titties for the rest of the review, gives some of the most painful to watch drunk acting I've ever seen in my life. Like, Bro took all of her inspiration from fucking Family Guy. I don't know if this is just average white girl wasted. I've never seen it firsthand, and I pray to God I never do. The 2 see Art in the distance just kind of staring at him, which I'll admit is a creepy visual at first, but then Bro starts fucking cheesing. He looks so happy. Dawn ends up trying to throw some bitches his way by saying that Tara wants his number. She then very understandably says, no, I don't, and you watch all of the joy fade from Bro's face. He just wanted some pussy. He's so damn hurt, he disappears. I just know Bro was running with tears in his eyes. The 2 end up going to a pizza parlor where they're unsurprisingly followed by Art, who sits across from them. He then starts trying to work his way back into the bag like, hey baby, you want some of this? This dumb bitch, she just knocked his silly little hat off. She's gonna get it, bro. I'm not gonna go over the whole scene of the pizza parlor because it drags for a little bit, but really all you have to take of note from it is he hits those motherfuckers with the classic get poopy Picasso, bitch boy. Damien Leone is fucking poisoning my brain day after day. As I'm watching this movie, I'm thinking about the Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween! Leave me alone! The 2 get back to their car and realize they have a flat tire, so Tara, thinking quickly, asks for Dawn's phone so she can call her sister. Oh, fuck that! We need to go back to the 2 guys at the pizza place! But no, at the same time, we're gonna show the phone call. It's really weird pacing. But at first, her older sister is about to say, like, no, I can't really do it, I've got my midterms. But then her roommate comes in and just starts, like, making out on the bed, and she just decides, like, oh, no, I can't do anything about about this. Looks like I gotta leave. Fucking say something! I know to progress the plot, she has to leave, but like, this shit just seems a little extreme. Just entirely leaving when you could easily just say like, hey, knock it the fuck off. So while they wait for her, Dawn and Tara decide to get in the car and just kind of hunker down. The two have a little back and forth, and Tara admits that she's still a little jeebed out about Art. We cut back to the pizza place, and it's revealed that Art turned the owner's head into a jack-o'-lantern. There's genuinely nothing bad I can say about this scene. The special effects are genuinely fucking incredible. I think I made it a little obvious in the start of this video that I have seen this movie before, and anytime I think about it, this is always the first image in my head. Good shit. There's a lot of fucking pee-pee talk in this movie, which I do not like.
That was the longest piss I've ever taken. I can't just hop a squat in the middle of the street and pee like you do.
See what I'm saying there? Like, the way they emphasize it with Dawn is just fucking uncomfortable. But basically, Tara realizes she has to use the bathroom, and with her sister still probably miles away, she doesn't really have an option. That's when the hero of this film, the knight in shining armor. What the fuck happened there? Like, I usually cut those out of the video, but like, no, I'm letting you guys see that. What the fuck was the knight in shining armor, who is a bald, middle-aged man, walks outside so he can smoke real quick. Tara asks him if she can go inside and use the bathroom, and after a little back and forth, he lets her in. This now, of course, leaving Dawn completely alone in the car. And I'll admit, there's genuinely a pretty suspenseful scene here with her hearing over the radio that the two guys at the pizza shop she was just at were brutally murdered. Oh yeah, and Art gets into the car and kidnaps her. I can't really take this dude seriously when he's fucking cheesing at the camera like that. We then cut back to Tara, who's just finishing up in the basement when all of a sudden she runs into a crazy cat lady, who to my knowledge is fairly well liked among the fan base. Every time she comes into a scene, I have to fight that shit not to press the skip button. Like, nothing against the actor, or for a matter of fact, any of the actors in these movies, but she talks so slow. Tara ends up trying to leave the conversation by feeding her some bullshit about paying the landlord, but as soon as she gets to the door, Art is already waiting for her. The two run down to the basement and have a short chase before, he got stabbed in the fucking tummy once and now he's out for the count? My king would never pull some shit like this. Bro, I'm actually pissed about this goofy shit. I'm actually pissed. Tara ends up getting upstairs, right? Just to see this granny looking ass door lock. Like, what is that? Shit was not there when Art was at the door. So that leads me to assume it was this fucking guy. So I want to get this video out by Halloween and I have no fucking clue how I'm gonna do it. So we're gonna skip past some of the parts of this film that don't have any real weight to them. He ends up catching Tara and taking her to the basement, and then we find out what happened to Dawn. God damn it, that horny ass writer strikes again. Art for some reason decides to hang her upside down, take her tits out, and then cut her in half, which I mean, like, I'm side-eyeing the shit out of you, but I guess it makes sense. Tara actually gets away and mollywops the shit out of Art and then fucking stabs him. That's what I'm talking about. Tara beats the ever-living dog shit out of this boy. Like, I was half expecting her to pull some shit from Royal Rumble. Even Art looks fucking surprised, like, damn, this was not supposed to happen. But if you've seen this movie, you know exactly what the fuck happens. Art's got that Gen 5 and he's just itching to use it. Once again, proving my point that I made earlier that this is the most bitch-made horror movie antagonist of all time. He started losing, so he pulled the fucking 9. So the movie's gotta be over now, right? The main character that we've been following for the entirety of it just died, but we still got Tara's sister. Even though they called her like an hour ago, she finally got to the building.
I got a fucking ad on Tubi that said something about looks maxing, and I've never wanted to kill myself more.
She ends up getting inside the building, and we cut back to the crazy cat lady who's now looking for her baby. They show Art holding the baby with some scary ass music in the background like it's creepy. I was just giggling, bro. He looks happy. He even tells her to be quiet so she don't wake the baby. This motherfucker would be dad of the year. Oh, wait a minute. I couldn't help but say what the fuck out loud like 9 times while watching this scene. She ends up trying to give Art, in her words, a mother's touch, which at first I was thinking bro was just gonna pull that 9 out, he was gonna go sicko mode on her, and then the scene would be over. He then starts sucking his thumb and shit like a baby. She's like cuddling this motherfucker. We then cut to an absolute random pulling up, so you know he's just there to pad the body count out. We then cut back to Tara's sister, who is now finding the bodies.
I swear to God, if this is a prank, I'm gonna kill you both.
Hold my hand when I tell you this.
Yeah, I bet your ass wish it was a prank now.
She ends up running down a little deeper into the basement and finding what seems to be Tara. And at first I was low-key thinking that Tara's just a fucking tank. Survived not only one shot to the dome, but the whole clip as well. But then it turns out it is Art wearing the skinned parts of the cat lady. This motherfucker really just do this for the love of the game. He's dedicated. He chases after Tara, and I didn't realize it until now, but you can see his fucking Dinkelberg. Like, I know I used the clip already, but fuck. Freaky! But he is feeling him himself while he wears that dead woman's tit. He deadass stands there for like a full minute pretending he's on a fucking Vogue runway before he realizes, oh shit, I'm being watched. He clowns on her for being a peeping Tom ass gooner. And then for really, guys, for really, he walks away. He leaves her alone. He's not gonna do, oh my god. But this guy ends up saving her ass because he can actually get inside, and Art just completely shifts his attention to him. This motherfucker makes mistake number one. He steps on Art's baby. Obviously, Art's newfound maternal instincts kick in, and he absolutely fucking violates this boy. The severed head prop looks a little gummy, but you know what? I can't act like mine were any fucking better when I made movies. Art hears a bike bell and gets on fucking game time. It's time to play.
He falls off the fucking bike, bruh. How am I supposed to be scared of this man when he falls off his goddamn tricycle mid-movie?
And stop playing music cues like this shit is scary. He's on a fucking bike. Y'all knew on set how funny this was. That shit gave me goosebumps, bro. Made my blood run cold. She ends up getting away from bro for a little bit, but then he ends up using the fucking plastic wrap again, which I thought he would have learned from All Hallows Eve. Using the plastic wrap just hurts him more. This is a normalized apartment, right? Why does it have this evil layer shit below it? She ends up finding Tara's body, and it's at this point where I start to think, where the fuck is Art at?
Is he such a goddamn hater that he's fully risking that Vicky could get away right now just for the chance that she'll stumble upon the body he dressed up?
This dumbass. He just does not learn from his mistakes, does he? The last time he used this weapon, it literally gave his victim a fucking weapon to stab him with. And I'll admit, he gets a good period where he's just whacking the shit out of her with it. But then he gets the haymaker from hell. Left his ass drooling on the concrete. The two try to get an understanding on what the hell is going on because like an hour ago, everything was fine. This motherfucker really is MVP of the movie. He not only minked Art's shit, he's the one that calls the cops. But because Damien Leone glazes Art more than a fucking Goku fanboy, he gets his lick back tenfold. Vicky ends up getting outside and then for some reason takes a goddamn U-turn back to the building. I'm so fucking confused. Was the goal not to escape the building? Was that not what we were trying to do for like the past 20 minutes? Obviously, Art grabs her while she's trying to climb through the little opening.
He's such a fucking dick, bro. Like, I don't care that he kills people. It's a horror movie. Obviously, he has to do that, but he doesn't have to be such a dick while he does it. He ends up leaving her be, which I mean, like, last time he did some shit like this, he crawled underneath the building to get her, so I do not think you're in the clear, Vicky. I can't even hate on that one. He got her ass. He got her fair and square, and then he eats her. I don't know why, but he eats her. But unfortunately for him, they caught his ass. There's no teleporting, no disappearing he can do this time. I can't fucking stand this guy. I just want one scene where bro gets fucking crunked on. Is that too much to ask?
They show a scene in the morgue where they establish that Art's still alive. The film honestly ends on a pretty creepy note with a flash forward a year later to Vicky, who is now just leaving the hospital. They ask her if she's ready for her interview tomorrow, and it's revealed she's the woman from the beginning of the film. I feel like if you were paying attention throughout the entire runtime of the film, you'd probably be able to put two and two together by now, but I did, simply because I was much more focused on the fact I am finally done with Terrifier 1. But it has just occurred to me now that I have no fucking clue what I'm gonna watch Terrifier 2 on, and I don't even think Terrifier 3 is hit streaming yet. Which, yeah, I saw it in theaters when it came out, but like, dude, I barely fucking remember when I woke up today. Do you really think I'm gonna remember everything about a movie that I saw like 3 weeks ago?
My editing software is absolute cock, so I've got to use text-to-speech voices for this next part since it won't let me record voice memos. I'll give Terrifier 1 a 5 out of 10 compared to All Hallows Eve's 4 out of 10, simply because I thought this one was more fun.
And with that, I'm thinking we're gonna end this video here. Keep in mind this is only part 1 of a 2-part special. And once again, I do just want to say, if you're a fan of any of these movies, I do not mean to ruin your fun at all with this dude. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have at least a little fun watching the movies to make this video. But at the same time, they're simply just too far gone from what I personally enjoy for me to call myself a fan of them, really. And while I've still got you, I want to thank you guys for nearly 1,000 subscribers. That shit is genuinely mind-boggling to me. If you can't tell by the runtime in this video, this is obviously supposed to celebrate that fact, but I'm hoping to go back to the normal runtime, like 3 to 4 minutes that I usually do. But with all that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Happy Halloween, wherever you may be, whether you're at home handing out that damn candy, or you on the streets getting that damn candy. Tonight is Halloween, and I appreciate the fact you're spending it watching my dumbass video. Bye-bye!